Abusia hwan mu na eruli wiase na hwan mu na ebu wiase. Na embra ben ena omo ahyehyɛ ede ama emu nipa. Na no me ben na sankrofo ye omo bu wiase, omo tumi ede ato wiase so. Efa nipa bia onka omo ho no. Efa no ho ana editia no. Sa asem we nenne ye ba be ka ho asem. Rome, the masters of the physical world, rulers of the globe, have cleverly designed social manipulation with magical spells to keep the people from attacking the rulers at the top. Emranu mu baako ena makeken e de akere wi mabubu mu de akere wi. Sa wo de wiase nyina ebom baako pa ade baako a achoki wiase. Na ahye mra chichiri ebinum kon. Na omu nim yiye se omu wo omu dem na omu ti omu honam ase na omu se omu beba omu bra no kuremu a sa mra no omu ntimi ndi so nanso achechire omu kon eye Rome for na ahye eye de be mra no no ye di kan no. It doesn't matter where you are as a black person. You can be an MP or president or a business mogul. All of us are under the commonest spell of Rome. So what is the commonest spell of Rome? Deba de no. Sani ama we ni ye pese ye hwe. Africans ye de ye ho pa ni. Are we under any spell? Ni yakoso no yemfa ne say ye yesu. Ene ye ban. Ana bibi hayen. These spells limit us and keep us within a certain distance from envying the royals and holiness of our masters and lords of the world. Ye dwen adia obia press obeye ene so obekosoro na waye kese awerehosem kese na meteye ene se nkola omuwo SHS obi omu school fees eto aduane ma omu di tatade e hye omu sebe pad kro obi na toma omu se aduane ni ye nsuo se ntefre wum se de se nye de aban kra so se omu free food and free school fees. San kola we e develop a strategy a omojeje omo maame ne omo papa no musika ye koto we omo boaboa no no omo contact agencies omo bebo omo no omo etu akotena bruchiri ehini ye we ni amesi ye ni so aye wa adaje wo ho aye beku ye ho ama ye betumi atena ho 4 hours 5 hours kwesi ada bia wa nkwa ye spell efi ada bia wa nkwa ye spell no enu na eku yen ana ye genie ma bia jeje mu ato ho aye nhwe enu na eku yen ede be na eba yesu. Here are some of the deadly spells of Rome against commoners, especially Africans. Enu ena me ne oba ka ho asem me pese ankrankra bia edwene enwene keke aniso sa wotina ho no ma hwe wo ma nanim na wo kwa adwuma so a dwene emra wo di fie kwa adwuma ne time a wo di abeduru obra wa bre ne sede a wo hunamu eye wo so e be sa wo de kwa adwendwen mu ensema nda ye be ka ho asem ni me ma ankrankra bia kwaba at the back time with Maame Grace Subiu. Ebusia nanso so aye kwesi ada biom na kwesi ada eduru peso a na unim se meba na me ne wa ba be che ensem foforo ende asema me be ka no ya de a me pese wo dwene ho edwene ho ewo wo kra mu wo honhom mu wo nipadua mu dwene ho na dwene ho kwa akire na dwene wo mba dwene wo daatse na dwene aman ya yatimi ho na dwene afrikafo na wo dwene ade abesi nipatuntum bia so memo akwaba at the back time with Maame Grace jumedie kase yisu ebiom edin ameje so at the Maame Grace on this platform. I'm still the prettiest preacher. Me no be nsem your sempaka ni wodofo ensema me ni wuche bia ye nsema ehu hia na nna ye topic no ye deadly spells of the commoner. Deadly spells of the commoner eno ene asema ende me ne wo eba be che me mo akwa ba biom na me gimi di ewa rechemu kase ewo me mu se universe no aye wadom na wo da sete asenteche ma de wabodwum moja edi wo mu afrusa ne ade bia na wuntumi nye no when ya hoden foforo a wo de ye isansa wo to wo bokọ wachi adwene wo ho ama bibia anchechire wo kon na wo decide say wo be make a move no wanya gidie wo mu enu nti e na pay a ye kasa yi wasori wo plans for this week na wo be ye ama na ye yie me man krankra bia akwaba at the bad time with Maame Grace jumedie kase yi so deadly spells of the commoner eno na ye di ho enkommo endei afebusa. Let's look at forgiveness, okay? We are in a big delusional world thinking that our oppressors will liberate us. We have forgiven them. Ye jina ho na ya je atum sa obroni na beje obibini nkwa. Omo no mo betumi akere yen de ayenye from school, from educational system and one a school no, from a duro hospital, name them, even parliament. Fani nyina aka ho ye gidie ni yawere hyem e nyina ne se obroni obetumi age obibini nkwa se wodwen sa adwen we hu a na eyedin na ayedin yie. We have forgiven them and are now expecting our oppressors to dismantle the giant neocolonialism system that is killing us, because Bible say yemfa bone nche na ye de bone cha enu ne yebenya osra himani mu akọ. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Enu nti no emfa woni de obroni a trespass abekum me nana akum me maame akum me papa. I'm not jealous, I'm not bitter, but I'm worried because my people feel what they tell us is the ultimate, but we cannot think for ourselves. Because obi baba can't tell me forgiveness or no, and the so they can exhibit forgiveness. So measure ne so na me so to me di nipa bone e de ache nti o ma bepa ye chew say yemfa o mo bone nche o mo ana. So we are able to understand say enkrofo we asama omo ka kire ye ni na omo enu omo ho abepa me chew so why me bone na anu ho embepa me chew a membe ka forgiveness asamo nkire me. This is common sense. This is critical thinking. This is not meka. The first spell of the commoner from our laws is forgiveness. This spell, as nice and spiritual as it sounds, it is a trap. Mina meka. Yes, Maame Grace na eka. Or say a trap. When you hear forgiveness, adenti na wonfa omo wiade omo wo prison na abone nche because they all belong to Christian fraternities. Adenti ne yemfa nche obroni no de forgiveness ba adeni yen chro forgiveness embo court. No be yade na okọ honom na obisa for forgiveness a yen ja ne so onko if it is not a trap. Omo ke kan sem bi kire wo na obufu ye sese ye ka kire de be ma wa ye calm. Is it a spell? Yen hwehwɛ mu e. Ask yourself, does your bank know about forgiveness of your loans? And a bank manager no onko sorry. What your bank manager I forgive you for your loan. Interest no crash we tumi cutting off. Na sa wakoji loan impo no wa forgive you say oh dear fa. Uko wia bank sika wo bank obeka cho say wo dear fa. Then we know forgiveness is a thing. Oh kwa brochire na akoje visa. Na utia wo visa fee no. No more amount visa na. Omo de we ni ma so wo wia wo ho tena play mu na utumi kodura brochire migration ebo forgive you no wa ma wakwa na. All these are questions. Men ye angry. Let's look at MTN quick loans. Call them and ask for forgiveness of your loan. Mentia. Because MTN manager or sorry. Because how many ATS do we even have in our systems? Muslims believe in forgiveness. Omo believe in forgiveness. Omo no Sharia law no. Abusia, MTN quick loan, forgiveness is everywhere. Surah 2, our Quran mu, also can about forgiveness. Dear Ben, to me forgive. Forgiveness, the word forgiveness. Do we have to investigate it, or we should just leave it like that and let it go? When I'm person your dream. Quick loan, crowd to me for forgiveness. And as then kaya kokota, you may be forgiveness. You go to Europe without papers and you are working. Ask them to forgive you because that's what they came to teach us in Africa. I didn't know forgive they abrochire forgiveness be wo. When tia wo rent, she let us crawl mo de bebrel. Forgiveness be na I want to know. Omo na omo di loan abo omo so. Omo ma loan chain bibia when tia wo loan na e de beche wana. Se camera twa wo kwan so a when tia de beche to kura se when tia na wutwa mu a omo de beche wana. So what is forgiveness? We are talking about some spells. Ankrofo we e de agya yen. Omo mia colonialism no mu in the highest obi be say dimension and in the highest level. Na aye calm eniama edit yen. Na yen shed down fa ya dwene nkoso. Ti wa woni paper no. O de ye bold. Na call immigration for office say papa me pamucho me ni paper nti mum forgive me why? Na hwe so mo be forgive you a. Emre bi atwam ko. Na Ghana fo bi wo ba bi o mo akekere ba bi so o mo na o mo do mosque nti o mo wo ho o mo bo mpaye. Imam na o lead mpaye no. One ba akunya asem wo mosque nim. Ogina ho bo mpaye na immigration fo be fa no. Ba akwa akochuku no say oni papers nti ogina sori dem wa oye surat ena immigration fo be tam no ni nua ba akwa akochuku no. Ghana for ye serious. Omo betam imam and then Allahu Akbar. Pim forgiveness didn't work for him even in the mosque. So what is forgiveness? Do we have to take a critical look at forgiveness or so far or preaching forgiveness? Obi aye nade we see unu wo court wan forgive you. So what is forgiveness? Nyankopon say yem forgive said you no so forgive ye no. Nanso ese onkum ne ba ansa na wapepa bone. So what is forgiveness? Is it a spell? That is what I want us to look at. Forgiveness is a magical spell. It was created outside the laws of the universe to imprison our minds and rule over our psychology. Ewiase na yeti no hu. Enya 2000 years. Abro. Andre ya na me call London, me nu nyina call Crystal Shopping. And na Jewish akokora na wenya 100 years na owo ho no. Oka kire yen say owo meteorite enya 2 million years. Wa ba me office da no wa ba beto shark teeth bi e wo ho enya 2 million years. And a certificate bo ho e wo office ho. E ba ne sen e na wiase enya 2000 years. Can we investigate? See, you see, the year when I know ya yenja of fire. Obi anyone from bishop to malam to judge to obi anyone of forgiveness. We wama ye jumada. We just read about it. They are all apply pani obi a weti ya wonaso. O wa fe ni pe di omochi be pacho. Do we forgive? Adentina say obi ye ya osofo a osofo no be bompa adenti na bayifo ye mo bom pa ye tia omo adenti na mo bom pa against the devil aden na mo forgive you know, because forgiveness is your portion. Why are you pursuing the devil, killing him every day? What happened to forgiveness in your Bible? It is important to unlearn and relearn patterns of our consciousness. And you're very serious. Because niyamani bi wo ho they are all kano or can't share with dia or say ye men jaya warrior what God has put together let no man put asunder. Bishop, what happened to your own? Wo ye nim say ade na ye kano e ye den ma yen, but we don't want to admit say it's a spell of a commoner say ye betna from na ye oppressors no omo rule over us. And not a young person you bet thinking deep. Most people think that the act of forgiveness is a spiritual process, but it is not. It's an ancient magic Anglo Germanic spell that causes people to ignore the hurt or damage done to them. Aya, say you can't for me say wahu. Say you say you beto your book. Na ye the Bible not to ho. Na ye decode ya ye ni beba ye husu. I'm telling you. Because they are all meow. I work cool nananom, a cool papa, a cool generation, and that's why press will come, and then Mrabebre, Asha will come, ye take Romani, dear somewhere in fear. Ye any court. Nabonimpo also saying. Ye take Roma no be new be wo, I on Shanada or worry, Naso Hornium will be out or the neighbor Bethie. Ni pampo ye greedy to send ne. Nya forgiveness of sins. Ye to me kum nipa. We don't even find ourselves forgiveness na wo the origin den the origin na me de ama no spell. It has got nothing to do with spirituality, because in the realms of the spirit there is nothing like bad and there is nothing like good, and spirituality has only one line, and nothing as spirituality doesn't have double numbers. If it is 1, it is 1. If it is 9, it is 9. You will not see 11, 12, 13, 14. Spirituality, any repetition. One line. And so when you see forgiveness, it has got nothing to do with spirituality. Medical cultural, or be pressure will corner, no oppressor or bully will no be cultural forgiveness, or preach forgiveness. Ma wana wejai. Spirituality, they name forgiveness because you name papa, you name bonnet. Cause and effect. They will throw back, bounce back to you. Simple. There's nothing like forgiveness. So forgiveness is not about spirituality. It has got nothing to do with spirituality. But it's a spell. Now the origin, no, it's an ancient magic Anglo-Germanic spell that causes people to. You know, yeah, the mouse say na you we are woman na okumu na atrocities and way are causing. We forgiving them because of this, but also for bishop, one forgiving the ba nimpa nya bonio, or some impese me this software. One forgiving the banner man the ban kumune. Into what are you preaching to me? Keep on saying, say, God forgive me. God forgive me. If you know God will forgive me, why are you attacking me? So when you hear forgiveness, don't be a joker and think that it is something from God, or it is, the meaning is what I've told you, it's a spell. This Bible, you better meet the ato ne yim ne ye de oppress yen e de ato ye de ye better meet the loose ye home from the oppressors ye de ato. What are we doing about the Bible? What are we even doing with it? Through forgiveness, we tend to forget the killing of our mothers, babies, brothers, and sisters in slavery, because we have to forgive. That slave trade, you know, there is no event that has happened in this world I hear bigger than it. But because almost say the year share say empire the year share say empire say no, they decided some be crochet spells e go book mu no de abreye na a suppress yen, because no de yenya wulili ye beje atum. This is our condition. We psychologically forgo and go easily on the stealing and oppression of our colonialism. So when you hear forgiveness, and the people who are preaching forgiveness are not forgiving, or suffer meaning the junior pastor nante, na semesi or be pamne ya forgiveness in you. Missy bishops in the wawa a suro and crofo suro, na komusi ombeye open na cancer man quiet crof a mumobi. A quiet omodin crofo faso, even no more yere no money or mutifie po bra or mo breno. There is nothing like forgiveness. Adana uja o yire no sokofa or be ma foforo adana wan forgive no. Odidi watama adana wan forgive no. So steal from you adana wan forgive no. So no person ku a adana wan forgive the actions no wan ware ne still. We dey yembisa o. Onnam he. Ekoka. They tell us these things no omwe putting in a particular corner. We yade a edi ankra biara enya. Nti mondwen hu ne yenhwe. Bibi wo hwa ye betimi aye about it. It is a spell to quench anger. It erases all anger to fight for what you deserve and revenge for you to rise to bring down those who rule over you with deadly force. Minister, ebebisa forgiveness. President, ebebisa forgiveness. Osofo ebebisa forgiveness. Forgiveness, why mo na ye ebisa forgiveness? Eyo obi a we pra obi, obi a we di obi dem, we di obi bone, onu no obisa forgiveness. Forgiveness in obisa a wipe away at the core what cost the opposite person. Nana. Sometimes the contradictions, we don't even want to talk about it. Or see obi ya wadi a 2 to 2. A bone to bone, an eye for an eye. Then so the same Bible is talking about forgiveness. Where do we go? We need to calm down and work on these things. The forgiveness race of the black commoner is an insurance to the laws of oppression. So far as we are psychologically programmed to forgive from childhood, their offices as rulers of the world are safe. This is the reason why we are not fighting. We don't want to, I'm not saying fighting as in using guns and cutlasses. This era, yen fighting with hunam, yen kramai. This era, we fight with wisdom. And no na ye refuse to say ye be akwa. Because obi ye wade forgiveness, ewo honum. You see how we are deceiving ourselves? Why are you telling me to forgive you? So forgiveness ne to yaka fa loan for no ho ko hospital bill no wadwane omo che wasef mo fa nko prison ne omo nka forgive us na mo release omo nyina. This is how we are deceiving ourselves. And when you say this or not now so for it now no abetro wo comment as deception with triso facha me ane wa pampas what wona wo deceiving crop for me mum. I continue. A forgiving race can never revenge their ancestors. The Chinese, remember, will revenge their forefathers. Europeans will invade any nation that disrespect them. Americans will attack and pay back any country that attack them. We are sending forgiveness to them. What sense is in this? What is the sense in this? And what sense is in this? The very people that are telling us to use the word they brought to us. Remember, forgiveness is not a tree language. Tree for account for a before or do be born better no cry almost a copane chow. A big cry why you say patano and son of the achow. Obia or no, why obi boni ojina sorry them will be forgiveness from God. Where do we place this? And Crawford no the Bible and they won't forgive like that. Oh, they will come after you. Why would you broach be a winning? I didn't forgive you. Oh, would you loan na £10, $10? Who bet ya? I had me to me yet light connection. When some more ye be wo, you don't know forgiveness. Oh, ye the chief phone now of police. But say yeah, we share tonight. Show now the is there forgiveness there? Obampo chief phone for police. You are finished. Why are we using forgiveness that they brought us? That they are not using it. Is forgiveness your language? I continue. Bible say when you uncle your body a facha imprint song with your song and song. I don't be before apply. Now the painful side of it, Mr. Omung apply one in year before so. They have never forgiven me. They are always attacking me. Last Sunday, ne brutal. From spiritual hour to from time with Maame Grace to spiritual hour, almost super me papa. Omo your voice note no to me WhatsApp number no so public line no. Omo di matem sa. I forgive you. I have forgiven you because I'm a good Christian. I have forgiven you. You people did not forgive me. Almost me your boni afacha me 77.77 megahertz. But the black nation forgives. We forgive 77.7. Yeah, the boni impress somewhere your son song. It's answer sana Bible. E kachire yen. say yen fanche empren song edio song ensom ena obibi nikita wemu ena obroni twi ne fafom ena bibie koso ena yen nyina yete asori dem ho ena ye ni da awurade so no beka kire wo say wo bone a wo ye nti na awurade kunwo na awurade no preach forgiveness kire wo no ono de wan forgive you but okunwo onyankopon e de nipa beko jem whilst he has brought us forgiveness ono ni wura fi so oba forgive nipa wa sobru nsamja hellfire e de dade ato ho amankramufo no say wo ye bone ana woto dade ne tete woto esenja no so na etete woto sa ade ne de me pese mi hu obi a dade na toto ne to na mi hu the shape and form a nipa ne to na ye abusia ye problem ne so nyakopon a o say ye fa ade enche 77.7 times no wan fa obi ade anche no heaven e wo ho hell so wo ho what happened to forgiveness? All these are questions. These are spells. Omo de ato abibifo so na bibifo ekitemu din ade ni way ye down de na tete yen ya ye kitemu kra ye ntumi apply because enye easy. It is a spell na ya so nwan ni mu na ye de akyekere omkon. Indians and Lebanese business in Ghana will imprison you for stealing a pencil. They are highly spiritual but will not forgive. You can't take spirituality away from Indians. I'm telling you. They are in their culture and they do everything. Even our own people, the intelligent ones, you know, omoko Indian ekosunya spirituality because spirituality is their base. But come with you na kwhwe. Ebi before na ye adwuma wo ho no. If there is anything like forgiveness there, come and tell me. And you are being charmed to forgive slavery and colonization. Are you charmed to forgive this event, an event that is running through our DNA? Sometimes no, okay, like uyobi a weni hu ade kakra. Se hu event ni bia, ube hu se wo popo like I say wo pese wo fenti air time. Now the forgiveness. Abba, until have we forgiven them? It's a question. Have we forgiven this event? Do we have to forgive this event? Our colonizers are even our best friends. We love them. Koka asem bi hwe no broni nya wo say abrofo no mo de camera aba wo ka asem ne pa camera na wo so ka internet na wo so ka no omo no mo de aba na omo no mo aye say nti me ye nka hwe so mo anfa hwe amba nka bibi beba ken so mo anfa hwe amba po nka we are better people. I'm telling you come anfa hwe amba. So stop saying that me ma di obi aye eno ma sebe enye wo say this is one of the biggest problems before ever. Sanko no anye senya ko ye say ono anye senya ka ye say ade atum so omho ye heaven ye ha ye hell ye say ye kala kora ye brunsam na obroni de ono de oye fita ono de oye onyankopon. This is how damaged the brain has become. Until they capitalize on it, send us some kind of spells to bring us down, brainwash us, forgive them, and then yet them. They are not even tired for what they want us to forgive. They keep on humiliating us, and we keep on using forgiveness, but they don't use that same word for us. Why? Because we have been magically cursed with the commonest spell of Rome. The biggest problem. She Rome, she omo size. Na kwe sika omo wo. Na she Africa, she ye size. Na she ohia ye wo. Where from this? How do we explain this? No gods forgive. Onyame bia ni wo de che meboa. Mo ana munim. Nyankopon, the Yahweh God, the creator, mo na mo friend creator. Ne ba shim, wan forgive you okum ne ba. Obosom so the same thing. Obey rituals, and they prepare with money. Like none of them forgives. So the forgiveness is for who? Why would blame me forgiveness and you don't use it? The cosmic laws are not forgiving. They are karmic. An eye for an eye, You get what you put in the universe. I have told you. Cause and effect. So the word forgiveness, can we investigate it? About the saying, and normally forgiveness by the reason and the purpose. Aye, then I can't just say a spell. A dear be a universe, no, any need connection, no, and any part that's a new title be bini, any share water. So forgiveness in the free hifa. And yamene the end the maturity much rather that. This makes forgiveness non-spiritual because a yamene omun pe omun nim forgiveness. Internet say a spiritual word. It is only the black race that does not flow with the universal laws of cause and effect in karma. This is partly why the spirit of karma hates Africans. We are under a big spell of forgiveness. Your condition na ye woman nenu ni e. She universe no di mbraso. Susuye minim. Natina se kwa wachi ne su eniama bi awoka. Oh, minima sorry bia omo de ye forgive ne kra de ye nchia mo. Oni omo kasa oh forgive minim so omo agya ka de a. Why na nim sa sorry no? Uni ma kire comment section ho. Oni omo kasa bibi kakra bi oh forgive. Onim so cast spell. Ye mobo abi before ye mobo papa. Ye mobo dodo. Na edie ni ye beye liberate ye ho. Eno so na wo ye effort a. Na dani problems bebre. Maame nchiro bibi. If until we decide to fight so what the prison na wo say wonye boni bia ba what jiatum na wo da hwa obi anya ohwe. But also be bargain your case because onye hwe so you can bargain your case. Ya ye kom ne ye maniema we nyina edi yeso. Spell ne ba ko na mabubu mu e de ama wo no. Afemu ma ye hwe we. Breaking the witch into submission. Kill the witch, kill the witch, kill the witch, kill the witch. What brought about that? Ghana mba se sie de se wo bibia na unim nyansa kora e okay ma Ghana mbema. Nti ye bebre a chense de aye bre no. Because nyansa doesn't matter to us. Enfie ho. Violent religious confessions and torture were used between the 1500s and 1700s to break millions of alpha male population and of the black race. Remember the gayism na me here you can go and watch. Dia na omo ye ne say so omo ba wo so no omo ntumi a. Now there is one alpha male obegina wa akon. So omo get it through to that alpha male na. Omo get it through to the people. Obetumi aka say sa time na e bia ahemfo warriors ni ade. So dia na omo ye ne so omo use insiders no. Omo use insider na omo nsaka na. No omo de no abegina animu nipa ni nyina anim na omo sodomize no e wo nipa nanim nti eba ne sa na papa no ohene na warrior na afa male no na anim guase nti no na wadwane because na se obema afa bema to na ye anim guase na abususem kese e de mabibini enti so omo nyanye obema ne sa na leader ne sa pa na ono ampo akọ hange no agoku no because on tumi hwe ne manfo nanim eyanim guase ma no eba ne sa pe na o manfo ni nyina amoa because ye leader mpo na omo aye ni senya ye ndie ede be ne ye beye wei e na omo fa so sa amre ya maboboyi omo yusu sa nyama we bebre e wo ye alpha males no eso emema no so. This is what brought about the origin of alpha female warriors like Yasantua, Nzega of Ndongo, and other female legends. Ma ye a whole episode for Nzinga. Ube to me akwa ye call Benin non so no. Who said the omunya Amazons no edi free King Nyele any King Gezo omo palace honomono and also ye call hoko chama homa wo the Quest of Akebulan. E hono na ye kwahu war na ye say ye di nipa blood e na e de ye no. We did all these episodes for you from Benin if you remember. This is what brought about the origin of these alpha females no. E hono ma ne sore ye Ghana mba ye se mo sore sesi amo wa hoden because we hu ne ho say obi nware ne nhwe ne sokora oni abrabo e ma no so omo ye omo agen so omo be sore no omo se omo from zen feminism and I said then and now to say women empowerment and you say saying the kura ne say nkonkonsa and then twitwa any the ka ho and me nyame na mbeka say ekosi saying e ma na no mo wo tete mirem no ejina ho no mo hu say de mema ni koma ye betimi aye bibi e ma aye a lot of things ma wiase aye yie religion and the dey ma ba down a best sign from Hato and not any bar Moloch not any bar bedina Jesus obroni nim nyansa enti besin de Virgin Mary da susi na asori dem obibini say Bible say mo oba ankasa sa asofo bi na no say yi na no adom o ne metwe manso wo no na fu sei na no so asi fom o se mo oba ankasa no ba one man oba manufo wa makola nufu anum na ni unufu so na odi begina okasa na mehu se Ghana ye be ye ne ya bre panimu a wako school oka English adwene da wutirimu nie ye nyandru ba bia wo hwe America history mu a ye se baabi edu ya na America fo na ye war no omu etu aboba ne saaye no na ema ne wo fie no omu yetu aboba no omu de hyemu ma mbema no omu to Africans omo de maba from your culture ye kasa oba nka bi oba bia nka na nuntum ebesi nne ene mo bra mo bre sese ye osi ni sika enya wo de ye wo ya sasa adwin na mo de tu omo tirim sa mra no ma na ewo wo no hu se mema no ho akire omo no enu no omo sore ye wo bi ya santoa ye wo inzinga makeka ye wo betumi abobo but me pese video no ebe ye we ena sa ma we omo sore ise kra. The rise of the witches against slavery was a difficult era for the slave masters. Bibia ni wonoma eni abrofo na fiso echen ema a omo sori ya omo se no omo ya bayefo. Sesi ekura de be ye nimpo na ye lifestyle. Sesi obi ka se oye bayefo kura na nkrofo pe ne ho akohwe bibi. Na be ye ni yete ase. I always say this thing self. Ada me se me kan witchcraft asem no. Because to me now this era Africans don't know what is called witchcraft, not to think of how it's you practice it. Some way almost sorry say cra no mo maniama ye difficult at the slave masters no. African women were using their female energies to cast spells and voodoo magic against the slave masters. It became a big problem as the black witches started forming voodoo cults to free many slaves. Someone their queen nanny, oh yeah. Someone queen nanny. So yeah, I can mention and mention and mention and mention and mention. And I believe and I am confident in my spirit. Said that could be and fear be beba or more can. Omo be kan Maame Grace so aka ho the other day me ka kiro say obi a obese san mra e mo ba tumi to asase wo Ghana ha esi dan e ya agema konadu. I stand to be corrected ono e na menim so obese san asambra no titi mrem na nko ba untumi to asase o e wo Ghana untumi isi dan. It is say ye kono whether you recognize it or not, we will have a generation that will look back and look for the alpha females. Because we have a lot of them. And you omo they pay Japade. So they joined this cult and decided to fight for African continent. Group na matete no force na ma join no. E dey na mo dey ye. Who dey resist kagu mo bottom. Ta! Woe unto you. Any adwin e wo wutirim. To fight this, the royals of Europe branded African voodoo as black magic and banned it. Ade edi yenya ewe bibifuo mu nie ade biara ebe yeyi ama ye bia ne ya ban ne no omunya aka kire yen se yen ban ne de a ye be ban ne sesi mo nze ne de homosexualism tata mokon ho se omo de ma mu bebre mu di so. Why are you people complaining? You always accept, so accept and let's go. Bibi omo beka bia no obibini bema a one ne yere da obema se wo yere ye vulnerable a wo ye miserable o wo makra ye mobo. Inti se yesi obi be kasa na wahu se omo read the Bible na meaning baby a omo adwene na ye ekọ. Because when you look at Genesis chapter 3 verse 15 hona Bible say onyankopon ba garden ni mu no obisa be ma ne say what have you done? And obema say, it is the woman you gave me. Onyankopon na wate pa. But osan bi so oba no so say, woman, what have you done? And oba no say, it is the serpent who deceived us. And because of the serpent, no onyankopon can kire oba no say, your seed will bruise the head of the enemy. Oba wo seed wonimu ana. Ibisa. Enyo obema no wo seed wonimu a odema oba no oba de wo. Eba ne say no onyankopon say, your seed will bruise the head of the serpent. Na so wudi diba form na so so obetwe ni yie. Wo Jesus na obeje wo nkwa no, enyo obema no ne maame ne daaye. Eye hun kronkron eno ne oba no kodaaye na wunya salvation. Into who brought salvation to you as a Christian? I don't want to go into the Bible, but if you offend me, huh? You're the 1 month to be so decode na one can say bia hu baby abeko. So who brought salvation to you? Tell me. Now say Bible say oba nka na nuntum mo nkasa. This era where we dey, you dey lie. Ye be bisemu ahwehwemu atohwemu e ma na omo ma wiase nyina ye wiase. Mudi male supremacy baaye a mo yi mba afiri mu no ne korakora ne sen ehe ne yenam ede ne ye kɔ endure ya maami ye osisi wuye hwe de we kuro na gigaaye e ma kora wo parliament na ade no kora wo kakora huntumi nka ne bebre omo kɔ wo du wede na omo ye enye mba mu ye na omumu bebre omo ye amento so. Then after they arrested the women and devised a strategy to make them stop empowering their children. Nti sanka emma no etumi kɔɔso ekyerɛkyerɛ omoma ekyerɛkyerɛ omoma ekyerɛkyerɛ omoma kenne enye ne omu use forgiveness ma wa eye wo se Maame Grace ya burunsam. No, it's because almost stop it omu hu say man the way man neighbor no someone stop you life will be difficult for them. Tell me Bible from Genesis to Revelations ede be no ba ye wo mu a obetumi Rebecca changed the entire generation. Oba Jezebel killed Naboth for the husband. Mami mimbo bobo ni ama ma ye Bathsheba changed the whole story of David. Na Solomon wo kra nkama mi ya nware eye den na fe Adonija ho ba asem okun no eniama ma ye wo Bible mu no King Solomon became miserable because of a woman. Abusinya hwe me ma Bible ma wo oba ne nkramofo nso simba na gu akire se wuntumi control wo libido a why do you put the women at the back mom ntra front na bibi bo mu di omunufu age ansa beduru kokoso the man na gu form cream and a man ankasa so aye vulnerable na ye omo se so obi ane omo anda ma omo sika omo ntumi form nsa anya adwuma fa bra mani so na aba beto me wo ho. So now the royals started fighting. Omo bani omo wiye no. In fact, let me read. To fight this, the royals of Europe branded African voodoo as black magic and banned it. So they used violent and brutal torture tactics on all women, causing them to be timid and submissive. Yeah, yes, our subject we. Ewo time with Maame Grace, Invictus of the Rome. Ubetumi akose the way ya ade ubehu eyina na omu use ni na me say ewo Italy, Rome, omu museum. Uwo ho no ma sika no susudi, susu fa besi dan kona kosha sa niama we bi na shape you up. Sa a gadget na omu use omu de shopping for ase. Na omudu ana ma expand na ne ba ni na na omu atete mayi maka ni na ma post ni na wo ho wo bi a ubetumi akose na wo de abobo de amiken ani. This is how much they try. This is the level a omu koye a omu de ma ne ba form ehu and omu de show omu. The submissive women is a spell. Na ukwa not submit oh na ukwa not submit. Se retamali nya marriage counselor kan wanutum na unye obia. Kana najima kunadu eye marriage counselor akora nkeye. Ade a wentumi antenem an survive. Ade a wo ma wo struggle we jai wa ware no we jai no wasan what makes you a marriage counselor? You have failed. The obi one or the be more obi. What makes you a marriage counselor? Na submit oh they don't even understand that word. Submissive is a spell. I'm telling you today, find out Google and learn. and I submit so nipa ni abrofo kakra na no odin de ene na edue ni ensem bebrebe amoka na asase nyina and I don't want to be artificial and ekosi sense ene korakora na huni bi enu ntia hwe and that me sen ne nkra de ama Ghana mbaba wa especially mba ni nyina aware wa hu and that from me decide say me nka ho asem but aware no and that from enye chicken change enye easy enti se wotu anamon se wo kwa me nua kọ eye yie ma wa tenam anye yie na pese ofiri ma firimu wa wadwenim ema obi ntufu because ni obeka kiro se jai no onyaware ni bi ope ye krom ha ye hu nkrofo na omu gina TV so sa aware enye important ewi ase na omu leke omu husbands feet on national TV ye hu omu pa Andre ya na omu se menja aware ujai aware omu keka ni na omu nja aware omu asan aware foforo waso aware akosi ho ede na unya awom onipa na wo kọ na wo so aware ko se ho poto ho na be hwe wo mama wo ontumi nhwe wo mama wo ono o ka kire wo se na aware sense at the age wo hu se aware na che se aware ehu hia se wa ma wa wadwen na ndwen na ye wo se de obi abe brande ama wo dimirike de akira wo unto you you are responsible for your life oh abusia wa hu mu wa ware agai e na wasan aware biom e de na kire se wo experience wo marriage a wo ye marriage counselor abe cancel obi we are jokers oh obusia ni a wo betimi ya wo dia obi kunu e betumi aye call na yire da ho ni bumfu obi so call pe e betrega no obi ane na ho oden fight your fight nobody cares about you ni one wo kasa marriage counselor na o cancel wo no on care wo sorry call ya akofa na aduane di to hell with whatever is eating you up mama ye ntina se ni ye only up wey ena abrofo no de ye ma no submissive omo force omo to submit so they can rule over them. So submissive or submit to na mukeka kanu is also a spell. Hwe so we your bema wo yire bebu naturally because oba na nkasa ni energies understand this asem we susu press wo yire se obema na suro ni a obeka bia na ondi so because we your bema say yare bow na wo company na wo di ja wo yire na wo di kan amehu abetena nimu wo de nato fom wo company ni begu se bibi ya wo na wuwu enda wa manipa na ye timid wo mba be ye mobo eya mumie susu ate na yen use words bi submit oh na submit o for ba bia submit ono ankasa so on submit soendre ya na yehu social media wa pack out more than 100 times eye grace bi na edom wo Bible grace. Why are you making people look like they have failed in life? Abusunya sa wo hwa me atusu social media wate na ba bia nwe susu wate na ba bia ni ho a adwo ma bibia ehunahuna na wani tia de ekoso wa bra boye wo dia metoa so. Every man now wants a submissive woman. You beat her, starve her, treat her like trash, and she still stays submissive. Woe unto you. You are miserable. You don't have life. And I mean, and I will buy another one popo. I been a market catch there no. So we yere hu nya dinya wo be ma no ye mobo. Nti na Bible almost say na oba no Eve eye Adam help. Onipa wo ni help hu omobo. O wore ba ye no wankwa Adam ho. Oko Eve ho. Kire say ye you help free ho no a wo be ye mobo sa na Bible ka. Member can't tell me say me go to Bible is in the Bible. Ananka obi no twere comment section here me there. O think onko go to a daily graphic. Hey, people can talk. This is not an African culture. African women were queens and treated as the highest of all the creations of the universe. Obewu bebre, no wa 10, no wa 15. No ho den papa no obeware miensa obeware 9 obesi obi afie close to him. This was our culture. No mo kwa papa ni niwa we twa koko ama oba no oda no no odoba wa no aduane na family ni nyina no mu didi sese ye ni na abie no the more we men fight to protect them and guide them. the more we worship the African women, the more the land prospers. Into no send asem simple abesi ne asem si a omo se man ne nkwala nyina mbese nko na mema ne negine mu omo ku ntokwa adentia na omo bo ma ne ho ban wote abrochire oyire ye adwuma miensa wo so ye adwuma miensa wo wi a wo ba be ne nada wa bra wie no onsan be no aduane ma battles will change. Ye wo problem o ye wo biggest problem in Africa. Because oba ho dwuna na wo be ma wo be dwuna wo betumi akọ adwuma akọ yes adwuma aba se wo du fie na wo yire ne se o ma wo nda obetumi anage a emema ne bebrada ne akọ wensanfo because okofie oba ne be kasa kwan be na wo de oba ne fa so ada me kan mema de na ye o de men kan kire me se emma ne bi so nye enne mo de ne ye ka mo change bibia se obi kura kwa ware o se opo ba wa ko school o ka brofo na na obawe on se okọ wa ko school no so omo ko omo ni time a omo di senior ma nti na oni ama wo laundry on se wo shirt ni nyina sese wo de ayi friends washing machine asi ho washing machine no omo di si ade ye de yensa o me nka se ye bone na atade ni motoam washing machine white esono se de anite and ensa ye de nsa so si ade white a singlet titiri any polo sa white no mo hye wo inside no de ode ne nsa si ni kunu de ene de ode washing machine si so mo yi white ne to hwahwe se de yetie ye wo problem o hey ye wo problem brutal ugina ho say man keep quiet ye nananom no mo ka say man keep quiet because they will fight for them omo chiche japade no obi nyane de abrofo na omusu ehunu amokofa baaye no sesi abrofo omu puti ema first no omu puti nkola second no omu puti enkraman ana emwa third no omu de mema na twato. This is your level. Wote ha wo kan bible ehe na bible ni fi baaye your printed bible ni ma akro nginya mindi Chinese omu no omu printed bible ya sema emobo ukoka we ya uye brunsam etwaso. This practice has been reversed into a psychological spell of submission. Omoka submit o nti oba no so submit na ohunu kunu na okoto me kunu ne se makoto na bibi bebo wutirima. How do I hold you? I'm supposed to be your spine as a woman. So me kotua with a crooked spine, how do you walk upright as a man? And a submit oko left a submit oko right a submit oko and a man aye asofo no kro mu preach submit no omo ni ahoto wo fi omo yire no esi omo konso me kai pa say start show ni etwa wo sofo bi o se na yire se mami betwa wo hobiem na me se wo yire se na wo so nyansan we na omo ka we kire wo na wudi akire. You don't know what to do. Now, the Abrofo are not beating our women into submission. But we are. Opa ma wo yire mfa phone free police see ya waso be rough. Wo singlet na eche wo no eno na wo de beko like they will throw you out kran sana yetie na asemo. Wote ha Bible no mo de bre ona no so na wudi. Asema mi ke nyina for 8 years. She video is a good platform ne so. Senka manka because me yoba kan faso a wenye nyina anka we hefa. Mum yenye ya adwene ne ho adwuma ate. Na adwene ne to say seed, udu ye besan afifi nti sa pro atete aseye a. Mum yenfa nhye fom ne pro a ebe fifi wate. Our mothers train women to be submissive and accommodating to everything trash. Women are disrespected and trashed. Because some Maame beka cho kwa ware a de okun beka bia tie o ukunu de obeye bia ye onsa yare bo wa woda ho no ba ne hu ne onye because o ye hu okuku seku wa ne wa thank God kokorodo eshi nti oba ne ntumi mboa ntumi nya ohwe wonsa yare bo wi waye mobo usika ne wo company na wudi ja ye nyina oba o yiri nim in and out of it nti people will eat it and your children will become poor. Because of submissive, and I say submit, it's a spell. If you don't know today, I'm telling you, job with your wife, respect her and let her love you, so you are able to make life together. Nobody is a slave when it comes to union. No African country would thrive when her witches are in submission. This is why all the religious books make the women the least important. It is to take away our focus on the divinity of the woman. Inti mo bebre more. Aware was or we more. I'm telling you, a good chain 8 years to 40, a good chain cremofo no more than man. I'm not saying say why you, but you see, you can't divorce. Pa Christendom have more divorce than BBR. Baby, some say they research and I'm who. It is the truth. Oh. I don't know why absorbing the truth is difficult for Christians. To me, how do you progress? I say about the no, I say BBR, ye wo, and I ye pim, na ya say niyama to the stand say, I fed your form hakra, so ya say ni ye pay ye shasru, ye pe hoswa ko say ho. O wan tabanya tu kona menhwe. How are you going to go? The first known god is the sex organ of the woman. Women are gods. Okay, say na. Obi baby say na man anka so munim so mo ye gods. This time you mu open everywhere. Open. Rahab. What you want open cry, you are still a god. And until na Rahab etumi save nipa ni bi e Jericho, because they say Bible can say onyankopon so munkum ho nipa nyina. Don't know ye Rahab ni din asetra say we bie ni legs ni mu ahyawe. And so to me save bibi to the oya ahyawe kura men forget about the nimguase, restart. Ebeye, my prayer is with you. We have been charmed to believe that giving birth to a woman is a curse. And then posa anyama so atwa kakra e wa Africa ha. Na wo ko san mre Nigeria ni ade na wo na wanwo oba obema. Na up till now, wo den me wo oba omse o wa wo aboa. O den wo obema o wa wo nipa. This is how wa yadwen no apro. Yasantoa was a woman no. Yasantoa was a woman. Or to me protected the stool of Ashanti kingdom. How do you underrate women? As a black man, it's a taboo. Next time when you are saying a woman should submit or be submissive, you say, oh, cast a spell on your own future and your children. We are ready to because I was on brand and once, or brand and once, say when you stroke, would have on to me, if you soon to me come back, or submit it, say on to me, into about submit to a baby when you're dear near D. I can't send you a million whom quite what it. Metuaso. The witches of Africa are now being treated like cursed general. Brofu where because they say, I asked them studio. Oh, mama, bought the 500 times. GENRE. Hey, my children can write English. Oh, Allah. So that is what we have become as women. The power in us no is being caged. Obi to me, she obema bi wo kwa o emre. Ubonsa na yire ni edin. So that they are able to put their lives together and grow. And mane nyawu aniwu sa wo yire na eye bibia rane fie no, you are better. So rane fie no buwa. Me say wo na wo home. But sesi enu akoya sa apa oba na jimi ni kun no. Problem na ye wo Africa ne de wo. The spell against the witching African woman has been diluted and messed up by foreign ideologies like feminism and homosexuality. Pa. Just obe bi hu odin pe a na just ono ofo so waye be ma. Nti eso ono sunya ne nyonko ba no ware no. All these are Western or foreign ideologies. Na midi kankan no, omo mate ase mpo se oyo oba se wo sori no omo se omo ye feminism. Omo ani omo a obetumi ase Bob, what a man can do, woman can do. It's not true. We have our way of life, they have their way of life. We put ourselves together and we are able to grow and ascend. It's so beautiful. No matter how rich you are, woni wukunu ho a na wo hye no ebia okam hunti na wo adwuma no ekoso, because look here, enan mienu na nante Memo be and deceive you say marriage hu hia when ye bintia. Wudi na chi na wugya ebe wi ase onye bi at 50 obe ware na watafri ni kunu na ase e de ama wahu se wanu ho. Obi ane ne life. Memo be and deceive you. 2 legs and 2 hairs, everything two on our body. They have a spiritual meaning. So we worry na ukunu ni nya adwuma na wadwuma ekoso a ne spirit bi na bo wachi dom into the wadwuma ekoso. At least when you are walking with 2 legs. A woman who is without a husband make a minimum some betwa me adapa on power so twempna or have sex. Are you okay? A woman without a husband is like a person with 1 leg, limping, same as the men. Let's understand this. What a woman can do, a man cannot do. And what a man can do, a woman cannot do. We all have our responsibilities. From all these are foreign ideologies. When they catch yourself, who knew be wa and yet, ni brinty. Ubufu ifu ya ukoe, wangu wenu. Twasu adwin say feminism na I kana Berlin conference and women empowerment and we empower yes o twempna and the other na o twempna other na wankasa. These are just bad psychological attacks on the divine femininity of the African woman. Me say African mad ye wo hu oba me bia wonya African ba ware oye oba papa hwani ye na waye yie wate na brena mu breni na yo bu amummu ma ade omo ankasa omummu omo ba na ebu omo but enye omo nyina o. And there are women who are so sweet. They don't know what there is trouble. They will confront everything with the husband. O mesi dan wo kromu a wambo ni ku amane because who obema no kofo ma ya na eku yehu o bia won responsibility. We are never the same. Na ye feminism ni way, it is all to bring our natural or our universal power down. Akwesi Broni knows that by breaking the African women, he breaks an entire generation. The women will now raise weak men and lose females. This makes the empire safe from possible takeover by the oppressed. Se maame no mema remfio maame ne na ehwe nkwala no nti se wo ye bema na wo se on submit to you ono na ohwe wo ba bema no wo ba ne be dane something which is there wo company now dey anieden a building, nobody will take care of it. Don't tell your wife to submit. Tell your wife to understand na ohun ni obligations as a woman, ohun ni place as a woman. Say yes enia me ya submit ono no aduane ma wo ba wo kwa adwuma amantem wo ba no submit na 18 kwaku na enjae wo papa baba beto wo papa ba ye no so na wa bre ka che no kwaku adi a wa ye ni na wakọ akoda na toaso be wi ase na oba na num weed. Submit de bebre wo no oba ne hwe wo e ma wo increase o incubate bibia a wo ye wo mba wo bibia ono na ohwe so wo kwa adwuma ba na wo bedidi a monkey mpo ye de aduane ma na ohua hwe obema bie ni ho no odi ne yire aduane a ohua hwe. 1 plate of your wife's food can take you to your grave. Stop maltreating them for your own safety. Metwa so nyame nhira brofo ana nyame nhira broni. All your gods are white. Hey, ebibi for mu ho omobo. Me kunu ye broni, me yiri ye broni, me nka say ye boni o. Nka sad that they are all human beings. Are you happy? Be honest with your answer. Are you happy? I'm not saying they are bad. Mimi ni mo broni a meme won namfofo abrofo a they are so sweet. I'm telling you. One of my friend, I was telling him that I think you have African spirit inside of you. You are an African spirit a reincarnated aye bruni. I am a catcher now nimudi because he would do anything for blacks. I say I'm doing it because of you, Miss Obo. It's a spirit dwelling inside of you. All our gods are white. Hey. Most spiritual people who deal with angels tell me, Maame Grace, all the angels they call manifest as white people. I share Revelations multiple times. Meaning obi oye well endowed in spirituality. Akokra. Oni make asambisa no say omo nyina omo ye hwai na me say how come? How come? They would describe how their hair and face are completely white people. Abrofun kotin from Bible mu nyina e de Bhagavad Gita, Quran. Kwasi fori wom. Uhu dede wom. Maame Akua, uhu wom. Anageze banchen wona Maame Akua ya twere wo. Yan dwi we no mu ho a. Se yenim a emfa ye ho. Ade a wonnim no, emfa wo ho. Aden na yentumi ndwen kakra enkwa akire. This is the biggest spell that has been cast from the beginning of the plan to keep Rome as the eternal ruler of the world. Adia ediyenya, forgiveness, submission, ekum yen. Ediyenya, abreyase. Ediye ni ebetumi aye about this. Constantine and Crawford. A brilliant spell that used religion to create gods with one race. This imprint have been beaten into our conscience so much. We cannot even imagine a black angel. I call this spell Nyamin Shiraburoni because that's how the spell is activated in new generation. Ye pabrofono ni omo ayade more than ourselves. I don't hate them, no. But me pese yen hwe ye ho. They like me until I cannot hate them. But the level na ye wo no said you obi nimade kra na owa adwuma mu akona ohye oye doctor wo ha omo na omo di education system ne brain wo ha wo ye doctor wo ha na wo kɔ hɔ untumi nye doctor age wo kɔ school ni bi aka ho wo ye nurse wo ha wo kɔ hɔ untumi nye wo ba bi omo place yen no as black people no anu na me sere se yen upgrade ye ho so that ye ni omo gina hɔ a book they don't come o knowledge no eye baba. Recently ya na me ko school Mexico me ni omo tena class like they are omunim. The old generation tells the new ones to trust Abrofo. They show them that Abrofo is the most beautiful person on earth, and they tell them that Abrofo is the smartest and that Bibifo is a bad and cruel. Abrofo is trustworthy and godlike. Obibini die oye nipa bonini. Yen yankasa yama boni na dokoro ye. Ti ye ko baabi a yensen ho. Sa adwen sakra bi wo ho. Na sa forgiveness bi wo ho a moma yen forgive yen aye ho. Na yen restart your life. Yen trust ye hu. You can't even trust us. Nkrofo we wa ma yen poison bi ma ye ze egu yin mu anan. Cause mo dwun ho a muntum ntaase. Aba asem intum mfa nyipa tuntum abie ngu one place. Ija boto ho sisi ala. Na senyi den. Abusunya. Nsem no doso sem se mekasa mama komate. If you are going to church and you meet Obroni, return. You have seen God. A new baby is beautiful. Oh, my baby looks like Obroni. Me banu die or you broni. Hey, me so say ya wo broni ni bia mami o. One spell and we have been charmed from generation to generation. A spell makes you see that it is not there. A spell makes you do what you wouldn't have done. A spell is a charm. A spell makes you act against your good, but for the good of someone else. We are under a spell as black people. Let's look at diaspora spell. Many people do not know that diaspora means to disperse. Diaspora means to plant by scattering. They are spell. I love you guys, but you should investigate the name they gave you and not the name they give you. Plant by scattering. That is the meaning of diaspora. This is a Greek social strategy to destroy a city. They pick the citizens and spread them about. So if the Greeks want to stop a colony from organizing themselves to come back and attack them, they will initiate a diaspora invasion. Why are you calling yourself diaspora? Let's investigate the thing. So these people won't. They are holding us in a manner that they are not ready to let us go, both physically and spiritually. And until we come down to work on ourselves, this is where they got diaspora from. So that the people will be planted in different places and their sense of togetherness and loyalty towards one nation will be disorganized. The Tower of Babel. This is the state of the African race across the world. So when you are saying you are diaspora, you need to understand this. This is the reason. So if you are diaspora, you are planned to scatter. Unity is not your portion. The African race has been hit with a diaspora spell. Black races across the globe see themselves separately. They think it's themselves, but it's a spell. It's a magical and psychological spell against black people coming together as one to liberate themselves. This is what is called diaspora. They never want us to be united. And that is the only thing that will liberate us. These people are working hard, physically, spiritually. We are here preaching spirituality in the name of herbs and in the name of afa. Tete no afa ye way of life. Ye wu akola no to wa ye behwe say or ye hwanya. How did it become a big deal? Now and now no spirituality just a shrine. Just a way, just a biggest problem. We want our people to come home. We want to unite, but the spells that is being cast around us is not letting us. We think we are fighting. We are fighting physical, leaving the spells and other things aside. We are not going to go anywhere. No nation or race or ethnicity or religion or whatever can rule over the black nation if it's united across the world. From the Caribbeans to blacks in Europe, to the North Americans, Haitians, North Africans, and Europeans, all black people across the world do not see themselves as one people. The biggest problem. The hate among us. What can we do? Write it in the comment section. What can we do to unite? Because that's our only weapon. We need unity like we need anything in this life. What can we do? What did they plant in our heads? The spells is working against us. Us spiritual people, what can we do about the spells? How do we liberate this continent? This beautiful, this great, this powerful, this unique continent that has everything to do with the universe. How do we liberate this continent as Africans? The diaspora sees themselves as different race and of different cultures. They treat themselves differently from Africans. They have different treatment for Africans traveling from Africa, African Americans and African Europeans. We treat ourselves different. So what for island no swa ko do America da. Ube huni amike. I passed through about 10 different black countries from Arabia, from Caribbeans. Where the islands no swa ko si Santo Domingo to America, Mexico. And I know what I went through. We are the same people. And then Ankrofo we omwaka edi egu yadwenem. The first Pan-African movement tried to unite all black people for economic freedom, and the Abrofo stopped them. Marcus Garvey and the like started the Black Star Shipping Company in 1960s. Let's wake up from these spells. Remember, the biggest fear of the oppression is for us to wake up and come for our throne. The spells are their security to keep their kingship and oppression in power forever. I had no some so emotional. Until we fight this cause, unity, and do away with spells, we are just joking. They will sit back and laugh. Right now, they have programmed us. They don't have time to come and fight. They are not even our problem. We are our own problem. Let's calm down. Let's unlearn. Let's relearn. Let's love each other. Let's delve deeper into our problems spiritually than physically. God have mercy on all of us. Mackerel.